What's the difference between direct injection and port injection, and why has the advancement of direct injection allowed modern economy cars to use small displacement turbo engines? Using this picture, it's easy to see that port injection, you are spraying the fuel onto the inlet port, the intake port of the intake manifold, sometimes in the cylinder head, but either way, you're spraying it at the port, whereas direct injection, you're spraying it directly into the cylinder. Now, because you're spraying fuel directly into the cylinder, it operates at much higher fuel pressures. On port injection, usually it's between 40 to 60, but in direct injection, it's usually a few thousand psi. What that allows you to have is a much more atomized fuel spray, which is much more stable. And this is how it's made modern small displacement turbo cars much more viable as an economy car. So I have a good example of both. I had a 2013 Dodge Dart and I have a 2017 Chevy Cruze. The Dart was port injection, the Cruze is direct injection. Now both cars made similar power, if that matters. It really doesn't, but if you're wondering. So on the Dodge Dart, yes, it got 40 miles per gallon very easily. The problem was you had to run the car on 91 octane or better, so premium grade fuel, to achieve that. If you ran it on lower octanes, it was dumping more fuel because it just wasn't as stable, and you were getting diminished fuel economy, and the car would run noticeably worse at low speed. Whereas on my Chevy Cruze, in the owner's manual, it just says regular unleaded is the recommended fuel, whatever low grade fuel you have. That makes it much more viable as an economy car because people are buying them as cheap vehicles, cheap to run, cheap to own, cheap to buy. But if you have to buy a car for a low price, get good economy, but then spend that difference on premium grade fuels, it almost defeats the purpose. But on this, you're able to have a cheap car that gets good gas mileage, and you can run it on whatever garbage grade fuel your pump has, and it will not care.